Oh, headgear is the worst. If you borrow headgear, you are a sick freak. Don't borrow headgear. People are getting punched in the face, bloody boogers are getting smeared across it, then you take that headgear, put it on your face, and you got someone's old bloody booger right here on your face. Good night, people. Do not borrow headgear. And at the end of the day, do not borrow fight gear. If you can't afford your own gloves, you can't afford to box, man. I'm sorry. Don't be the borrow guy. Don't borrow equipment. Well, why not borrow? Like if the gym offers it, if it's free, why not borrow? Because it's disgusting and it's weird. You could get ringworm, staph infection. I'm not a doctor. There's probably a ton of other things you can get from this stuff. What's up? Welcome to Fight City Gym Talk. You are here with Eric Wallin. In one of my other videos where I said things you should not do in an MMA gym or things you should do in an MMA gym, someone left a comment and said, you should do a series. And I was like, you know, I kind of like that idea. So I've been thinking of things that you should not do. And one came to mind that happens pretty much every day here at Fight City. And it's borrowing equipment. Don't be the borrow guy. Don't borrow equipment. Now, a lot of people might think to themselves, Eric, you don't want them to borrow equipment because you sell equipment and this is just a money-making scam, right? No, I don't care if you buy equipment off Amazon. I don't care if you go to another gym across town and buy it from them. I don't care where you get your equipment from. Don't borrow equipment. It's gross. Like, just buy your own equipment and use your own equipment. If you played soccer, if you do play soccer, you don't go there and ask coach like, hey coach, where are my cleats at? Or boots at? Or whatever you call them. I know Americans, we call them cleats. But at the end of the day, if you play on a soccer team, you have your own soccer cleats, right? The notion that you're going to be a boxer and borrow boxing gloves, it's crazy talk. I always tell people, invest in yourself. When I say invest in yourself, what I'm saying is, if you want to be a good boxer, take the time, save the money, and buy a good pair of boxing gloves. You don't have to break the bank. There's plenty of good gloves. I've done a lot of reviews on gloves that are less than $100 and are still good boxing gloves. Or shin guards. There's good boxing shoes at a low price, boxing shorts, you name it. You don't have to break the bank. You can get a lot of equipment for far less than $100. And if you're super passionate, you're training all the time, then you probably do need to spend more money to buy stuff that keeps up with your training regimen. But at the end of the day, guys, if you're going to take this sport seriously, buy your own gear. And the last thing I'm going to say to that, some people might tell me like, but Eric, the gym fees are expensive, and between the gym fees and regular day-to-day life, I just can't afford my own gloves. And in my opinion, just my humble opinion, if you can't afford your own gloves, you can't afford to box, man. I'm sorry. Like, when you compare it to a lot of other sports, let's just compare it to golf. It's way cheaper than golf. It's way cheaper than skiing or motocross. Now, those might be kind of expensive sports, but even football is pretty expensive. If you're on the high school football team, there's all sorts of ticky-tack fees that the football team's going to hit your kids with to play football. All sports cost money. If you want to be an athlete, you have to spend money and you have to invest in yourself. I always tell people, if you want to be good at fighting, you have to be good at life. Don't forget that. If you want to be good at fighting, you have to be good at life. Save your money, get to work on time, work overtime, rush over to the gym when you're done with your job, train as much as you possibly can, go home and train some more, wake up early, get to work, come home, shower, get to the gym. Like, it's not easy. If it was easy, then everyone would do it, but not everyone does it because MMA, boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, these are hard sports. And so not only do you have to be good at work and good at life and good in your relationships, I always say this, if you're arguing with your girlfriend and your wife, you're going to be hard-pressed to get good training in. You have to be good at life. You have to have your family in order. You have to have your work in order. You have to have all your personal relationships in order. And then you take your spare time and you train your butt off. If you do that, then you can balance your life and you can become a good fighter. But back to, if you can't afford gloves, I'm going to say it straight to your face. If you can't afford gloves, I'm sorry, but you can't afford to fight. But that doesn't mean you can't. It just means you need to tighten up your life, right? Get your life in order, get to work, save up your money, make sure you pay your membership fees, and also buy your own equipment. Now, someone might say, well, why not borrow? Like if the gym offers it, if it's free, why not borrow? Because it's disgusting. And if you borrow fight equipment, it's gross and it's weird. You could get ringworm, staph infection. I'm not a doctor. There's probably a ton of other things you can get from this stuff. But when you just get person after person after person shoving their sweaty hands into gloves or sweaty legs onto shin guards, and headgear is the worst. If you borrow headgear, you are a sick freak. Don't borrow headgear. People are getting punched in the face, bloody boogers are getting smeared across it, then you take that headgear, put it on your face, and you got someone's old bloody booger right here on your face. Good night, people. Do not borrow headgear, and at the end of the day, do not borrow fight gear. It's gross, guys. It's gross. Keep your gym clean, keep your equipment clean, and keep yourself safe. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe. If there's anything I forgot in regards to borrowing equipment, whether you should or should not borrow it, leave the comment in the comment section. Tell me why I'm right, tell me why I'm wrong, and you'll hear from me soon. Talk to you later.